Welcome to another podcast of Adeel Pirzada podcast. Today we got another exciting podcast. This podcast is about construction, real estate, and entrepreneurship. We bring it to you every week with some industry updates and some industry known guests. We talk about construction and real estate and entrepreneurship. And today we got another exciting topic before we dig into that, I want you to introduce my co-host here, as always, Mr. Kevin Padillo.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Adeel Pirzada podcast. My name is Kevin Padillo, the best co-host in the world, and I am here to bring you value. This podcast is hosted by the Pircon Group. I am the director of business development for the Pircon Group, and what we do is we are general contractors with an arm in development as well. So if you have any questions or would like any information regarding our construction services, I'm happy to help you.
All right. Okay. So today's topic, we're actually just going to talk about always success, but just based on what's happening around the world right now, all the crisis we're facing, the economy crisis, the war crisis, and how it's affecting everything. But what can you do with that? What can you do with all these crises, and where can you take them and actually do something about it for yourself, for your family, for your country, for your nation, and for the entire world? So, just talking before about, the real success is that everyone have a different story for success, that what is really success. However you define it under your life circumstances, it might be different for you than the other people. But to me and to our company, we look at success as that a growth from where you are today and going somewhere, where your potential is. So let's say you have a potential to become a doctor and you're just kind of ward guy right now, just on the floor, or you don't even have the right job. Your journey from you, not being a doctor to become a doctor, that's your success. And then once you become a doctor, you got to have another milestone on achieving another success. Because if you stay where you are, that does not mean changing careers. That means changing for better, to become better yourself. That means maybe from a doctor to a surgeon. I don't know how it really goes in the medical terms, but getting to the hierarchy within what you're doing, or hierarchy as a person of what your ability is, of your next potential. So reaching there is the key. It's how you should measure success. You could have a lot of things right now, everything that you wanted, and you got it, and you're like, hey, I'm successful. Well, guess what? You got to do something more for the next challenge. You can't just stay there, because you're going to stink if you stay there, and you're going to be smelly, just like a water that's sitting in a pond for a long time. You got to be the river that flows to the ocean. So that is success, is that when we think about it and how we analyze it.
Yeah. So, starting off, obviously, you are a person. We are assuming that you have been, watching the news and aware of all the current events that are happening in the world. And it's rough to see all these issues, these wars, these bombings, and people being hurt and killed. And there's conflict every day. And it seems as if, life is troubling for you. Maybe you're bothered by whatever's happening. Perhaps there's family being involved. And there's the rising cost of food, of groceries, of gas, and the pressures of life is starting to hit. Today, we want to give you some insights on how to build success during these hard times and how to strengthen yourself. And one of these key skills are just, leveling up and understanding that the world is a competitive place. And in order to get better, you have to climb up and reach up. And in order for you to reach up and get to the next rung of the ladder is to build that skill.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Kevin. It's about becoming better, and becoming better doesn't happen without you knowing things, without you harboring a skill. If you cannot offer anything to anyone, you're kind of useless person. I think in Bible it says that a man without a plan is a dead man. Something along that.
Yeah, it's a man without vision will perish.
Yeah, there you go. So to me, it's a dead man. You're already dead if you're not doing anything, especially when you're given all the opportunities and the right environments. And even if you didn't have one, you create it and you go for it. So that's you harboring that skill. That's you getting that knowledge and education that you can be helpful to someone. If you were put in a place and there's, what can you do? Like if you were put in a group, what can you do for that group? What can you do for the other people? In terms, actually, a skill to measure is that what in return money you get. Not just like this fake money, but the real money based on your hard-earned skills. Your learnings, your education put into play that can actually make an effect in the world is real success, is a real skill that you can harbor. So talking about how we can get success, and our show is for the young people. I mean, it's for all ages, but mainly we want to educate, and we want to get the excitement started for all the young people, because that's when you really got the energy, and not even that, you actually don't really have a plan. And if you can come up with a plan, at least start thinking it at that time, it can benefit you from years to come. So what can you do to add into your, even if you're already successful already, that how you measure it in your current success, or to be successful, especially times like this? Actually, hard times is a great opportunity to become successful, because everybody's looking at the other way. And if you can keep yourself confined, keep yourself in the right attitude, you can gain success quicker. You can take those hard times and use it for your benefit in terms of becoming successful. So but that is going to take a lot of hard work. When a lot of people are not, excited about something, for you to get excited about it, it's really hard, because it affects us, what other people think, how they behave, and you can see that in stock market, because that's how it kind of runs. When there is a boom, everybody's investing, and then the market is going down, everybody's trying to pull their money out. It's that we usually follow the big hurdle, a big herd of people acting as sheep. So what we got to do is be something different, be something maybe is not really applauded, it's not really appreciated, but it's really worth it, especially for the humanity. How you're going to get that is actually up to you. We always talk about how to get jobs, how to get skills, how to be the best. And for young people, the one easiest and the most basic skill that everyone can get started with is actually sales, being in sales, because it's needed everywhere. You will not, if you know how to sell something, you will not be a jobless. And Kevin can speak for that, because he always had a job.
I love sales. I started getting into sales when I was in university, and I started with door-to-door. One thing I've learned about being in sales is that when I first started doing door-to-door, I did really poorly. I got only 2 sales. I was one of the lowest ranking guys in the office. We sold security systems, alarms for your home, and I didn't really do well. However, it pushed me because it was a very competitive mindset. I learned so much. We would walk around communities such as King Cora in the Southwest, and I would knock on doors. I would knock the most doors, but I wouldn't get the best results. However, looking back with my improved skill now, and I think about where I have been and what I could learn, is that if I made tweaks to my technique, and my skill, I would have made a lot of money and I would have stayed there longer if I improved that skill. Sales is beautiful. You're mainly on commission. If you're just on a salary only and you decide to take this path, if you're just on salary only, you're going to get comfortable real quick. However, there needs to be an incentive for you to be hungrier and to achieve more, which would be a balance of commission and also salary, because commission is going to drive you. It's going to push you to achieve and want the next thing, and it's going to keep a hunger inside you, and you are in full control of your income with sales. Commission.
Yeah, a lot of people actually think of us like a salesman, and I did too, even though I've been in sales for a very long time. It's very sleazy job, like a sleazy salesman. Yeah. And you know what? For majority of people, it is. I don't say everyone is like that, but I have seen that, and I've witnessed that in a car dealership industry and other industries. They just want to sell. And I don't think that's a right attitude, but you got to have an ability to sell. You got to have an ability to negotiate and to discuss. And to discuss in a right manner and right way to bring things up and get them done. You don't have to be, you don't have to do things that are not professional. You don't have to commit crime by doing that. You can sell the right products and what they are. So that's why it matters that you not only harbor the skill where you're going to go, and you also believe in the institution, the company that you're going to be going for. Whatever you're going to sell there, it's meaningful in a way. If they're going to sell a whole bunch of crap and you're just hurting people, I don't think it's a good skill. Even though you learn a lot, you become very smart and sleazy in a way, but I don't think it's worth it, because at the end of the day, where's that going? So you still got to have that moral duty with that. But sales is not sleazy. I mean, if there weren't salesmen, then people wouldn't know about the product and they wouldn't be able to purchase it. A lot of people, I sometimes come across some products, and I know it's marketing, but I gotta have, the marketing is not done properly without the sales, and sales is not done without marketing. I mean, if there is a right marketing, and when I call someone and they can't close me because they cannot answer my questions, then they're losing their customer, and I might be losing on a great product that I could have bought, but I didn't buy it because that person wasn't able to explain me. So there is a great balance between what a really good salesman is and how you perform yourself as that person by selling, educating your customer about the product, about whatever that is. And at the end of the day, all these products are created for betterness of humanity. So I mean, if there is a bulb and there is a new one now, it's probably because it consume less electricity, it's more efficient, it will have more hours on it. So all those things matter. And if there wasn't a right marketing, if there wasn't a right sales, I would never get that product. And if I'm not getting it, maybe I am actually hurting the environment or people in different ways. So it is actually morally a very good department of any company, as long as they're doing the right thing, they're selling the right product. So I know when I was coming up, I looked at sales as a very bad thing, and I didn't really want to be part of it, even though my whole profession, which is real estate, especially at that time, it's all about sales. But I'm really proud of the sales that I made, because I always sold the right thing. And if I didn't feel, I was actually too honest, if I didn't like something, I would be just bursting it out and kind of demotivate my buyer or seller in a way, which I learned over the time, that how actually can make that better as a sales guy and get them to the right product, rather than just discussing the too much negative of the current product, maybe jump to the next one. So
yeah, there's what's cool about sales. I've found that I've had a lot of success with sales. I think what the biggest thing that I have learned is that there's buyers, flyers, and triers. This is what I've got when I worked for a company called Adeel. We sold direct energy, and we stood inside Walmart. and we would just talk to everyone walking by. We would keep track, and we actually systemized it in an easy way. And what we've found is that there's buyers, people that are ready to buy. They're actually looking for it already. There's triers that are they're in the middle. They're considering it. They're on the fence. They're like, we'll see. And then there's flyers. People that are just like, hey, I'll take a flyer, but they're not really like serious. They're not serious at all. And all you have to do in sales is find the right person who's ready to buy. That's all you have to do. You don't have to convince them or lie to them or trick them. It's all about just finding them. Hey, telling them, hey, this is what I do. Are you looking for something like this? Finding out what they need and just talking to enough people to find them, you will get that person and you will easily be able to help them. It's not about convincing. You do need a little bit of persuasion during the trier phase, though. If there's someone's in the middle, you will have to get to know their goals, their wants and needs, and then show them why they should get it now, why the benefits are. Use any kind of special promotions you have. Use urgency. That's when you could use it for the triers. But for the flyers, you have to know when to just say goodbye and not talk to them and then not answer.
Yeah.
Not talk to them at all.
So like sales is a huge and vast industry, and every business needs sales. They need salesmen. Yeah. So the reason why we're saying that if you are young, you need to do something and you don't know, get into the sales. Because it's going to be needed. Even if you were a programmer behind a computer, you're going to need sales skills at the end of the day. Yeah. And if you have that, let's say you're by nature a programmer, and if you have sales skills on top of that, just within your organization, for yourself, you could do so much. You can maybe negotiate with your boss, your salary. I'm just not it could be anything. I'm just saying, you got to be able to negotiate, to talk, to communicate in order to get things done for yourself, for your personal life, for your life at work. So if you harbor those sales skill and you don't know especially you don't know what you want to do, it's a great way of starting your career. And then later, maybe whoever you work for, maybe it's a car industry and you do sales and you like the other side of the things, that's where you can go deep into and get those skills, learn those, skills for yourself and get that education and be in something. So sales, I would call it the most important skill to have for any person. Not everybody has to become this professional salesman, but I think it's good to have that skill. I started my first job as a sales guy too, in a way, which was a gas station. And it's actually a convenience store, and they called me a sales representative. And I'm like, really? But you know what? Now I think of it, at the end of the day, it was sort of sales, that I was doing, even though it behind the cashier. But I do have those customers that are not happy, that have complaints, and that want to, maybe steal stuff. And I had those incidents, and how I dealt with it, what I did at that time to calm the situation, to make that negotiation, whatever that is, kicking the bump out of the store. That is sales. That is something that I did towards selling and keeping the environment for that place is keep going. My smile on the face and saying hi to the customer and bye to the customer. There's so many things that I can name that is originally at a sales level that teaches you something. So it's very important. And I am still, learning and trying to educate and trying to become better on that skill, because I still lack a lot. I'm a much better designer than a salesman. That's how I look at it. So I really want to, upgrade myself in that skill. And I think we all should. It's a good skill to start with. You can make lots of money in sales if you go all the way and become professional. And you can also become a better human being if you know what you're doing.
In life, you're either being sold or you're doing the selling.
Yeah.
Someone is selling to you or you're selling them. It doesn't have to be both products or services or exchanging money. It can be based on an idea. You're selling your idea. You're having an argument with someone. You're selling them on your belief. Or if you're having a debate, you're selling them on your statement. So you're selling each and every day. You're even selling beliefs to yourself. telling yourselves these certain things. So sales is key. That's that's actually something for a young guy to know. If you're like 14, 13, 12, get a sales job and you will watch your life like improve if you commit to it and never give up.
Yeah, 100%. It's an easy way to start making money. And there are so many like places now where people are selling. But I really think, other than behind the computer and doing things in those affiliate ways to make money, you really got to have a skill. Like at the end of the day, people want, especially something meaningful they're going to buy from you. That stuff is not in pennies and little dollars. They want a real human being. And those big deals don't happen on the internet. They happen in closed doors with handshakes. So if you're looking, if you're good at it and something you want to look on a professional side of the things, this is something you really want to start working on now, because it takes time to be good at something. So like Kevin said, if you're young, 13, 14, if you start working on your sales side and you don't know what you want, you will know in a few years what you really want. Once you have the sales skill, it will take you to different places, and then you can do that work and then really see. And you know what? If none of those things are too technical and they don't work out for you and the sales are your thing, well, great. Now you'll have a job forever, because sales is needed by every single industry. So sales is the number one skill on your road to success when times are hard, especially when times are hard and you become a good salesman. Oh boy, you're going to be you're going to be awesome when times are good, because it's really hard to sell when nobody's buying. So if you harbor those skills during those hard times, it's going to make you a tougher, stronger, better person as well. And then your skills, when the times goes well, you have this whole setup for you that where you don't have to make that much effort, and then you can make better sales as well. So sales is number one skill as a young person to get started. Number 2 and 3 is about what we do and what we preach. It's construction and real estate, and there is tons and opportunities in construction. Talking about construction, so number 2, get yourself involved in construction. If you have a little bit tiny interest in anything related to construction, get in it. Construction is a huge industry. There's so many different things to do within it. And then, you know what? The biggest thing is that we have a lack of actually skilled construction people. So a lot of people run away from these things where they don't want to do, hands-on work, and, don't want to be a laborer, and I want to do this high-level work. I get that, but what you're not understanding that if you become good at something, whether it's plumbing, electrical, you become a good carpenter, there is so much need of those people, and those skills are getting short day and day. The average tradesman age is about 50 years old. So they're going to retire pretty soon, and we're going to run out of these skilled people. I know you don't like to become an electrician, but some of these electricians make $250,000 a year just working for themselves. So there is a huge money. Like these mechanical people make a lot of money. Those skills are not only paying a lot of money right now, especially the way the market is in right now in Canada, in America. In Canada is even more, but down the road, if you start your career to, let's say, become an electrician, to become a plumber, it's going to take you time to become that good electrician or good plumber where people are willing to pay you something, valuable. So think about the future. Just don't think about tomorrow or day after. Think about 10 years from now, 15 years from now, especially when you're young. You got to think like that. Think ahead. And when you're thinking, when you're going to be that, if you have that skill and it's a huge demand at that time, especially, you're going to be making lots of money. So it's not only, it's not all about money, but what I said earlier, success to be measured in a way of where you are right now and where your potential is. And then you're always changing your goals as you grow. So it's about that. You becoming better in a way that you have your goals met of what you need in life, but also you have your vision met, your needs met. You're doing something for the world. It's not just all about you. It's about the world. What change, what impact you're going to make, and your work is the biggest way to make that happen for you. Yeah.
Yes.
And last, number 3 is real estate. So real estate, as everybody knows, there's so many things. So if you got the number 1 and you're good on sales, that's the number 1 skills required on real estate. So if you start as a sales guy and you end up in real estate, even you're doing some data, analysis and other thing, it's going to be beneficial in real estate. And real estate, as well, is a huge industry. There is a need of skillful people required in real estate. Harbor your skills yourself on these 3 things: on sales, if you're related to construction, in terms you have an interest in construction, get connected in that. And then that also leads you to learning yourself to real estate.
If you're going to learn a skill, there's so many skills to learn in sales. Just FYI, if you're going to start diving into what skill you should learn in sales, lead gen, closing, presentation, negotiation, sales process, deal admin. There's so many different steps to the sales. Learn lead generation. Once you learn lead generation, it'll be easier for you to learn about the rest. In order for you to get more sales, you need more leads. So people coming into you or you reaching out to them, people for you to talk to. Once you have people for you to talk to, that's going to help you get that skill to negotiate, present. You'll learn as you go. Lead gen would be the main cornerstone and the first step in your foundation.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. So becoming successful in hard times is harder, but it's easier in many ways. So don't look on the negative side. Look at the positive side, the opportunities that are offered in front of you. Take them, embrace it, work towards that, work hard, put your time into it. It's going to take you time to learn anything. So put your time before you ask for reward. Do your time, and then you'll see the fruits coming your way. So don't look at, there is a lot happening in the world. We're even supposed to have a worse economy in 2024. Inflation is crazy. All this stuff is not going to go away. If anyone thinks that inflation will go away, things are going to get better. No. If you can hope that it just stays the way it is, that would be the best outcome. We'll never have the same prices. We'll never go back to it. So what do? You invest in yourself. Rather than expecting, that, hey, the prices will come down, get used to it and make more money, be more successful. If things are hard now, well, become tougher. If you were tough yesterday, become tougher now, because it's not going to get better. So you rather get better on your end and become better on your end, so you can face all this stuff. So face all this madness in the society and face all this madness in the economy. Prepare better, sell more, do more, so you have more money, and you can be better of yourself. Okay, we'll end our podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and do let us know what do you think. If there's any topic you want us to cover, especially related to real estate and construction, and do subscribe our channel, hit the like button. It will help many other people. It will help our podcast to reach out those thousands of young people that were creating this to begin with. So we really hope we can, achieve our purpose of our podcast. And without your help, it won't be possible. And we will see you next time. Until then, goodbye. Take care.